everybody, welcome to the launch night for The End of Me, The Beginning of You by our latest author, Chloe Mae, who is an incredible poet and author, I might add. So thank you so much for showing up tonight, for coming and being a part of this launch night. It's a very exciting time, and this is her first book, so you are joining us at a very special, integral point of her life, so thank you so much. I also want to say thank you to everyone who has pre-ordered. It has been amazing to see how many of you who have bought a copy before it's even been available, and now it is officially available. So to those of you who have pre-ordered, we did want to give you a little surprise and send you the book so that you had it on launch day, what with us not being able to do this in person anymore. So hopefully you have the copy in your hands, and to anyone who doesn't have a copy or anyone who wants to buy more copies, as Christmas is coming up very soon, you just need to head to positivepoetry.org/shop. The link is also in the description box below, so you'll be able to get your copy or copies that way. So I really hope you enjoy tonight. We have a fantastic night lined up for you. We will be hearing a selection of poems from Chloe's book, and she will also be doing a little Q&A, so we'll be able to hear more about her heart behind it and the journey that she's been on to get to this point, and her hopes and dreams for the book as well. We also have the amazing Susie Mills doing a few numbers, so do stick around for that, and I'll be sharing a little bit about my hopes for positive poetry. So thank you so much for joining tonight. Grab whatever it is you need out of the microwave. You've got about 10 seconds. Squish your tea bag, come get comfy on the sofa, and please give a huge warm welcome to the amazing Chloe Mae.
With one glance, the space between us is meaningless. Everything I thought hindered me fell into divinity, holiness meeting humanity, no reflections, no fantasy, no vacancy, just authenticity and vulnerability filled the space between us. You're probably here because you know that I'm releasing a book, and I'm so excited about it. This isn't exactly how I planned on releasing the book, but it only seemed fitting that I wrote the book in lockdown, so we're still going to launch it in lockdown. So thank you to everyone who has joined in with this, whatever time you're watching it. Welcome, and I hope that I can just share some poems with you, and that you buy the book afterwards, and that we just share some hope together this evening. So my name is Chloe Mae. By day I'm a care worker, but right now I'm an author. I'm publishing a book, which is super exciting. And just before I read any poems, I just kind of want to share with you what the book is about, what it means to me, and how we actually got to this night. So the book is called The End of Me, The Beginning of You. And I chose that title mainly because of what I explored within writing these poems and putting them all together in the way that I actually worded them, the poems that come after one another, and what that all means, because it wasn't just poems that I put in a document just with no care at all. There is a reason why they're laid out the way they are. And for me, the title represents just that feeling of not giving up, but just letting go of control, and realising that I was at the end of myself, and I have been at the end of myself several times of my life, but there's always people there to come and pick me up, and just to help me. And so the book really explores that hope and explores what it means to be human, and live in a broken world, but all the beauty that can be found in the mess, and especially this year in the chaos as well. So the book was written in lockdown using poems that I'd written from years ago and poems that I only wrote 5 months ago. I really just hope that these poems resonate with you, and that as you're reading it, you will read it in the way that I wrote it, with my heart behind it. And so the book is actually split up into a few sections, and it goes breaking, searching, finding, mending, and being. And you'll see, if you read it from front to back, you'll see where maybe I've been in pain or loss or grief, and then you will see the hope appear as you work your way through the book. And being the last section is all about you, really, and the things that I would love to say to you. If I knew you were all in person and I knew each one of your names, I would be speaking it to you. So the first poem I actually want to read to you is called Roll Away My Stone. And I wrote this poem about some doubt that I had, and it was just doubting that I could be something, doubting what I believed, and it's mainly just me feeling like I was confused, but just letting that confusion be something else and propelling me into searching for something and being okay that, you know, the mystery can stay a mystery and I don't need to solve anything. My doubts are empty graves I do not wish to live in. I was made to walk out of the dwelling place of confusion. I spent too long living in the shadow of a doubt. It was more like I'd never seen the light in the first place. Not really. I'd been staring at the wall, mere reflections of the fire that was burning bright for me. At least now I see there was a plan to all this mystery. It's free will where my eyes wander. I choose where to place my focus, on the grave or on the grace. The truth is, right now I need a brace around my heart, and I need to brace myself for the start of the power, the ignition of the fire that emerges when I let my doubts propel me into awestruck wonder of the one not seen but believed. For I am one with faith, not fear, and I still have so many questions about why I'm here, but without a shadow of a doubt, I know you're near, so how could I fear? That was probably one of the first poems that I actually wrote, and it kind of made me realise that, I can write poetry that has some kind of rhyme to it, because a lot of them don't actually rhyme, and it's only when I think I read them or someone else reads them aloud that you actually kind of understand what they mean. But I hope that you can read them and they mean something else to you. So I'm only going to share a little bit about what they mean tonight, because I want you to find yourself in them and resonate with something else that's inside of you rather than the reason why I wrote them. The next poem I'm going to read before I hand over to Janey is called Sunflowers, and this poem is about showing up when you could have stayed in loneliness, in darkness and in pain, but you came up and you didn't let that darkness take a hold of you, and you waited for the sun to rise. You look to the sun when I am too afraid to. You welcome in the bees and the birds. You know your worth like you know this season is yours to shine. So much time under the surface, so much time preparing for the sun, yet still in the comfortable darkness, within the safety of this fertile ground where you could have stayed, you still chose to grow. You still chased the sun and chose to live, whatever life you could, before the winter returns, and together we bow our heads in gratefulness and wait the sun's return. I'm going to hand over to Janey, and she's going to talk a little bit about positive poetry and what it stands for, and really her heart behind positive poetry is incredible, and I can't wait for you to hear all about it. And she's going to be talking about it in the future as well, and hopefully more poets are going to emerge themselves, and she's got some amazing poetry as well.
Thank you so much, Chloe. That was so powerful. And I am 5 minutes in winter, and I too am waiting for the sun's return. So that went deep for me in a seasonal way as well as an emotional way. I was going to share a little bit about positive poetry, but I thought I'd do it through a video. So here's a little bit more about positive poetry.
A few years ago, I was going through a tricky time, and one of the things I loved doing was searching for spoken word videos, talks and podcasts that were just full of hope. I started putting my spoken word poems into videos and uploading them to YouTube, and I found I was able to offer hope in a way that I was searching for it also. Poetry is such a powerful way of communicating, and whether you're reading, writing or performing it, it provides such a therapeutic outlet. It helps you find solutions, revelations, and just see a way through your circumstances. And the byproduct is that other people can find hope in what you create. I've been performing and leading workshops over the past 10 years at theatres, gigs, schools, conferences, and have begun streamlining my work into just a channel of hope. Positive Poetry is a channel of hope, a small business with a focus in performance, production, publishing, and of course workshops. The dream is to grow and reach more people so that one day we can be performing and leading workshops and community groups in other places like prisons, hospices, publish anthologies, and just help other people find their voice of hope in what they're going through.
So Positive Poetry is a small business, and there are a number of ways that you can help us grow, and that's just by helping us grow with our audience. So if there's anyone you know that could just do with a bit of hope, or that is interested in poetry, just please share our stuff with them, share our Instagram, help us get more followers, subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter as well. Just helping us grow those audiences would be amazing. So I do have a poem that I want to share as well. This is called Those Clothes, and I wrote it a while back, and all the gigs I was booked in to do started cancelling left, right and centre because it was just before COVID, it was just as COVID hit. So this is my first time performing it in my living room. So yeah, Those Clothes, it's basically about how incredible the human body is, and those moments where you stand in front of the mirror and you almost like bow down to your clothes, or maybe no one else does this, but just moments where you might have a bit of a body conscious moment, and you feel like your clothes are more worthy than yourself. So yeah, that's the brief outline of it. The clothes that you owned that robed you in sadness, they're sewn with lies, cashing in on size, cause they could only rise to some mannequin thighs. You hold them up and ask, why did you buy? A fight for your eyes when you're looking in the mirror. So you squint and twist and turn down the lights. You turn them down more till they don't get any dimmer. You're pulling at your waist, you're wailing at the wall, you're crying out, Lord, please make me thinner. Now you're only wearing guilt while crying in your dinner, all for some clothes you thought would make you thinner. But the truth is, friend, these clothes are just threads weaved the wrong way. One size fits all and only made for display. You were made for a life of abundance, a life of freedom, to be wild and free, and you were made for so much more. So quit those clothes and make space for healing, and when you pick up fake denim, say, shut up jeans, it's me that's the real thing.
I'm going to read a poem now called Legacy of Love, and I actually wrote it on the morning of my grandparents' 60th wedding anniversary. They'd asked me to read one of my poems, and it got to the day and I was searching through my poems and I was like, none of these are worthy enough of a 60th wedding anniversary. So as I sat in bed sipping a cup of coffee, I decided to just start writing, and it was at that moment when I read this poem back to myself that I realised, oh wait, maybe I can write poetry. Maybe I am good at this. So this is called Legacy of Love. Love is etched somewhere within these black lines that are written every day by every tribe and every tongue. They all understand that love is ingrained on this earth by an architect who knew that love would be the one thing that would unite mother and son, father and daughter, friends and family. Love was breathed into life and her bones began to move. Gentleness and kindness are shown in her hands. Strength and beauty adorn her shoulders. She carries a weight, a legacy that she will never see. She plants seeds in the garden and waits patiently for the green shoots to sprout. Love is manifested in words that stretch beyond oceans. The sky echoes her kisses and her aim is always perfect. Love is etched even on the hardest of heart. Even to the deaf ear, love is ringing like tinnitus. Love makes a home where she is received, where she is worshipped between husband and wife, whose hands are moulded to one another. She opens up her treasures and they find the gold within. Love is not written, but found in the spaces between these black lines. She is found in the breaths taken between sentences. She is found in the absence of time and place, but flourishes like those green shoots when time and place align, and she can sit in the midst of conversations, shared stories and smiles, where she can be heard as a whisper slipped up through her throat, I love you. And love is not surprised to hear it whispered back in the clinking of glasses and a shout of cheers. She is love, and she is here.
Hi, my name is Susie Mills, and I'm going to be singing some original songs for you tonight. This first song is called Distance. Is this the new normal now? I've never heard silence so loud. But is this the new normal now? Should I get used to this new sound? 'Cause we got this distance and it's more than space slipping through my fingers. Could it be replaced? Oh, I don't wanna know. Oh, I don't wanna know. 'Cause now we got this distance and it's more than space slipping through my fingers. Could it be replaced? Oh, I don't wanna know. Oh, I don't wanna know. Better let it go. So is this the new normal now? I thought we would make it work somehow. But is this the new normal now? I always assumed you'd stick around. 'Cause now we got this distance and it's more than space slipping through my fingers. Could it be replaced? Oh, I don't wanna know. Oh, I don't wanna know. But now we got this distance and it's more than space slipping through my fingers. Could it be replaced? Oh, I don't wanna know. Oh, I don't wanna know. Better let it go. I'll let it go. I'll let it go. I'll let it go. So fly, little bird, fly free. And maybe one day you'll come back to me. Fly, little bird, fly free. And maybe one day you'll come back to me. But now we got this distance and it's more than space slipping through my fingers. Could it be replaced? Oh, I don't wanna know. Oh, I don't wanna know. 'Cause now we got this distance and it's more than space slipping through my fingers. Could it be replaced? Oh, I don't wanna know. Oh, I don't wanna know. 'Cause now we got this distance and it's more than space slipping through my fingers. Could it be replaced? Oh, I don't wanna know. Oh, I don't wanna know. Better let it go. I'll let it go. I'll let it go. I'll let it go. So this next song I'm going to sing is called Colours, and it's a song that I wrote after going through quite a painful time. And yeah, the song is basically about not wanting to become hard-hearted because of past experiences. So yeah, this is Colours. Soften my heart, don't let it go hard.
So we're going to move into a few questions now for Chloe. So I'm just going to dive straight in. From one poet to another, Chloe. When did you first get into poetry and how?
I actually discovered poetry through watching a TED Talk by someone called Sarah Kay, who was a spoken word artist. And I was listening to her, I was about 18 at the time, and I just resonated with what she said, and the way that she was saying it, I was like, this woman is so, so cool. So I started watching some more like TED Talky things about spoken word and poetry, and found, just some other poems that I thought I would be interested in. And it kind of just led me to write my first poem, which probably was really rubbish, but I just felt it was so cathartic just to get out my feelings on a page. So then when I went to university, I actually changed my course from English to creative writing with publishing. And it was at that point that they just threw loads of poetry books at me, and I realised there was so much out there, and I needed to develop my own style. So I started reading classical poetry, modern poetry, listening to more spoken word, and I kind of started to explore my style. But even now I'm still exploring like how I write and what I write about. But yeah, I actually started writing at 18, but then it was kind of forced on me at university, so I didn't write that much. And it was only after university that I started writing again, and now we're here.
Love Sarah Kay. She is enough to get anyone into poetry. And yeah, I totally agree. Writing poetry, there is just something so cathartic and healing about being able to express yourself. And through rhyme as well, there's something so powerful about rhyming. So my next question is, how do you get your inspiration?
So usually, like, my creative process is, I suppose I would say, quite normal. I just have a feeling in my head, or something's happened, or I notice something in the world and I'm just like, I need to write about this. And usually what I'll do is get a pen and a piece of paper, because I can't write any other way, and that kind of unleashes my creativity. And then when I get really stuck and I hit a wall, I pick up some poetry books that I've got on my bookshelf, and I just read a few poems, and it usually kicks me into action, and I can write from that point.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with the whole pen and paper. There's just something more, it's just tangibly having more of a connection with what you're doing, I think. Also, I have a friend, poet friend, Toby Thompson, if you're ever watching this. He said to me that he likes to write with pen and paper, so that he will always be able to see what he crosses out and deletes. Whereas on a phone, once you've deleted it, you've lost your edits. But in case you miss some gold, in case you've got rid of something that actually later would be really great to include in the poem. So I've always found that really interesting as well. So my next question is, when did you first envisage the end of me, the beginning of you, and has it turned out the way you hoped?
It definitely hasn't turned out the way I imagined. This whole year hasn't turned out the way I imagined, but I don't think I'd have it any other way. I don't think I ever thought that I would be releasing a book. I only started putting all the poems together that I had back in like January and February, so I never thought we would get to this point this quickly. It's kind of been a bit of a roller coaster journey, but yeah, I never actually envisioned it getting to this point, so I'm winning. By all accounts, I'm just winning, because I didn't think we would ever get here, and I didn't even think it was a dream of mine to have a book out. But since starting the process and talking to Janey and going through all that, I've realised that this has definitely been something that I can tick off my bucket list now.
And Chloe, I, along with many other people, hope this is not just a bucket list thing, and that there are many more books that come from you, because you are so talented and your voice is amazing. So yeah, we would love to see more books come from you. So my next question, why now?
Why now is a very good question, because I could have written a book in any other year, at any other time. I could have picked next year, when hopefully we'll actually be able to do things again and go out and see people, but it just felt right to keep going with it. Like I said before, I wrote it in lockdown. I'm going to release it in lockdown because it's what the book stands for, is to bring hope into a hurting world, into a messy world, and hopefully a way that people can see some beauty in this brokenness. And it only seems right that 2020 is the year that we all need that.
Thank you, that's so powerful. So moving straight to the next question, if your book can achieve one big thing, what would it be?
I think the biggest thing that I want the book to achieve is for people just to find some hope, especially this year. If they can read it and resonate with the words, even just a few of the poems, if they're at a place of resonating with the poems in the breaking section, that maybe as they read it they can find some hope in the other sections, or if they just read it just to understand where I see the beauty in the world and where they can maybe find some beauty in the world as well. And especially this year, I feel like everyone just needs a bit of hope.
Yes, that is so good, and that is what the world needs, and that is what positive poetry is all about, so that's amazing, thank you. Okay, next question. Going back to what I was saying before, will there be any more books in the future?
Will there be future books? I really hope so, but it obviously takes a lot to write a book. I live quite a frantic life, but I'm really hoping there will be. It might be some time, but I'm always writing poems, probably when I should be doing other things. So yes, I'm pretty sure there's going to be future books, but maybe not just yet.
I totally get that. You do need to have a little bit of a break before you move on to the next thing, but so excited to see the books that come from you in the future as well. So on to our last question now, and that is, do you have, somebody asked me this the other day and I quite liked it, so do you have any weird or interesting writing quirks?
I would say my way of writing actually is quite a normal way of writing. I have to write with pen and paper. That might be a quirk, maybe some people don't do that. But yeah, I have to write with pen and paper because it kind of just unleashes some creativity in me. I don't really know. And it's usually in the corners of notebooks and silly things like that. If I literally don't have a piece of pen and paper anywhere, I might write something on my hand even with a pen, and then write it down later. I like to be outside when I'm writing as well, and I did that throughout lockdown because we had such good weather. I would literally just go out to the nearby park and just sit there, people watch, listen to some classical music and just start writing. That gets quite difficult in the winter because I don't like the cold, so I'm having to find other ways of writing and other things that might help me to unleash my creativity.
So this next song I'm going to play is from my latest EP, which I just released, and this one is called Wanna Know. Oh, I feel it, this is serious, we're not playing games. Oh, I mean it now, I have no doubt that you're here to stay. I wanna know your heart, I wanna know your mind, I wanna know your thoughts and see things through your eyes. I wanna know your heart, I wanna know your mind, I wanna know your thoughts and see things through your eyes. See things through your eyes. You've stayed by me now, I can see your love can't be contained. You've pursued my heart, I can't trust this love, I'm ready to jump in. I know we've known each other from day one, but I can't get enough of attention. Oh, I'm captivated, I'm fascinated by you. At my intention, at my intention. Oh, I wanna know your heart, I wanna know your mind, I wanna know your thoughts and see things through your eyes. I wanna know your heart, I wanna know your mind, I wanna know your thoughts and see things through your eyes. See things through your eyes. I wanna know your heart, I wanna know your mind, I wanna know your thoughts and see things through your eyes. I'm now going to play a song called Perfection, which I wrote about wanting to become less self-critical and less perfectionist and to just embrace my humanity, embrace where I'm at. So yeah, this one is called Perfection. I realize I've been pushing myself down again, waging war with perfection. I realize that I find it hard to rest my mind, wrestling with my reflection. My grasp was tight and my thoughts were loud. I've had my doubts, but I figured out I wanna just be done. I'm fighting every day to overcome. Da 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 da. I've been swept up again, waves crashing above my head. I forget why I came here. They keep on trying to say that this is the only way, but I don't think it's worth it. My grasp was tight and my thoughts were loud. I've had my doubts, but I figured out I wanna just be done. I'm fighting every day to overcome. Da 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 da. Take the pressure off. I was always free, I control my perception. I don't need to rush. I'm slowing down my pace, there's no race, I'm still breathing. Take the pressure off. I was always free, I control my perception. I don't need to rush. I'm slowing down my pace, open space, I'm still breathing. I'm still breathing. I'm still breathing. Thank you, Chloe, for having me play at your book launch. Yeah, don't forget to order one of her books if you haven't already, and enjoy the rest of the evening.
So we are coming towards the end of the night now, so thank you so much for coming and being a part of this and joining us online. I know Chloe would have loved to have had this in person with you and been able to see your reactions and engage with you in person about it, but I hope you've enjoyed it equally, just being able to do this online. So we are coming towards the end. Don't forget to get your copy if you haven't already, positivepoetry.org/shop. One of the ways you can support Chloe right now is obviously by buying her book, but also by leaving her a review. It's quite a hard sentence to say. And we do have the links and a bit more information in the description box below. So I'll hand back over to Chloe and we will start to wrap up this evening. So thank you so much for being a part of it. Mwah!
Thank you all so much for watching whenever you are watching this. It's been so fun just to share a bit about the book and about my writing process with you. And just before I finish with the final poem of the book, I just want to thank a couple of people. Janey for doing pretty much everything for this book. She has been an amazing publisher, and I couldn't ask for anyone else. And just for organising everything, getting the book out there and getting me to do things on time when maybe I've got other things on my mind, and just for encouraging me this whole way. Thank you so much for Susie for playing some angelic music to start this off. She's incredible. You can look her up, Susie Mills. She's got a couple of EPs out. She's always releasing new music and she's epic. And finally, thank you to my flatmate Izzy, who is sat right here with me right now. I'm looking at her and she is so happy. She's an event organizer and she does an amazing job. She planned out the whole live launch event, which obviously we can't do, but she's done an amazing job of making this just look like an absolute vibe. So thank you, Izzy. So I just want to finish by reading out this last poem of the book, which is called The Space Between Us Part 2. The poem I read right at the beginning was called The Space Between Us Part 1. And both of them just really explore what the book is all about, the space between us as humans, the space between just what we feel and what we think, and just really how we explore the world. Thank you again for coming, and this is the final poem of the book. You can still order the book, there are copies available. Just go on to positivepoetry.org and you can get yourself a copy after this recording. How many meaningless words, broken shards of apologies and fantasies have I thrown into the space between us, before realising that the space between us is a mystery full of beauty. We hunger, we thirst, and we are satisfied. I've yearned to fill this space between us, desperate to redeem everything that pulled us apart, before realising that all the broken pieces I thought had torn us were the very things holding us together, like a beautiful tapestry of tragedy and affliction, a tapestry of perseverance and pursuit. Let this space between us be the space that binds us.